Well, thank you, Mr. President, and all of my colleagues for working with my office to introduce item J on the consent calendar, in which the County Council, on behalf of Montgomery County, reaffirms our commitment to meeting the goals of the Paris Climate Agreement. I want to thank Lisa Felt, who's still in the audience, who reviewed this document, she and her staff. And we know that while we were in recess, Mr. Leggett joined the We Are Still In coalition, which is acknowledged here in the document. If we want to make the United States more secure, we don't do that by withdrawing from international agreements. We don't make our country more secure by making snarky comments extolling Pittsburgh over Paris. Security comes from international cooperation. It comes from countries with which we must work, respecting us and trusting us. I'm very cautious about having the County Council opine on matters that greatly exceed the boundaries of Montgomery County, but in this case, our county should take justifiable pride in the abundant work we have done to minimize our own carbon footprint. We get all of the electricity used by county government from renewable sources, and we purchase further offsets to pay for the carbon generation that comes from our fuel use and our heating oil use. We have adopted strong benchmarks for energy conservation, greenhouse gas reduction over the years. This is not a new action for the county to take. We've been on this track for a long, long time. In 2003, we began the process of procuring our electricity from renewable sources. In 2006, we adopted what was at that time the strongest green buildings legislation in America, which we are now updating to adopt a green construction code. I particularly want to commend Council President Berliner, who's done a lot of work on adopting measurable benchmarks for carbon reduction. So there's more work to be done, but we have a track record here. And what we're seeing around the United States is that state and local governments are expressing anguish at the harm that we know our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will experience if we do not change the track that we're on. And so this resolution today expresses the goal that an organization called Under 2 MOU has articulated, that rising planetary temperatures will not exceed 2 degrees Celsius. That's one of many efforts that are underway to express this anguish of state and local governments, the pain that we feel that the United States would withdraw from international negotiations and refuse to participate in an effort to protect our planet. The United States is big, but it's not that big. We have to live on the planet with other countries. We have to have friendly relations with the countries that border us. How abundantly blessed we are that Canada and Mexico, with whom we share thousands of miles of border, are our friends and allies. That's what we should be fostering, not hostility. We should be building bridges, not building walls between the United States and the rest of the world. So it's rare that the County Council opines on global issues, but it isn't rare and it isn't unusual that we take real constructive action to address the looming threat of climate change. And so this is just one more effort in that regard. All of us have said many times that despite a hostile federal government, in Montgomery County, we're not going to change our values. We're going to adhere to an ethic of protecting our planet, just as Mr. Rice just articulated, and as I know we all believe in. So instead of the sneering hostility that was expressed in the decision to withdraw from the rest of the world, our resolution today is a statement of cooperation, conservation, and conscience.